The wine glasses caught the afternoon sun through the floor-to-ceiling windows of their Rosedale mansion. My wife Elena checked her phone for the third time in 10 minutes. We'd been married 8 years, and I knew that silence. The kind that comes before someone asks for something you can't give. My father wants us for dinner Friday, she said. Just family. Just family. Meant her parents would spend 3 hours reminding me their daughter married beneath her station. I'll be there, I said. She glanced at me, disappointment, resignation, and I knew tonight everything would change. If you've ever been made to feel like you're not good enough, this story is for you. Hit like, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear all year. Because the man they'd spent 8 years looking down on was about to reveal a secret that would shatter their world. It all started with a check for $5 million. I met Elena Hartwick at a charity gala 9 years ago. I was there because my assistant bought the ticket. Elena was there because her family funded the children's hospital we were celebrating. She wore a black dress that cost more than most people's cars. I walked over before I'd made a conscious decision. "James Mitchell," I said, offering my hand. Elena Hartwick. Her smile was genuine. We talked for 2 hours by the dessert table. What I didn't tell her, I was the anonymous majority shareholder of Hartwick Industries, her father's pharmaceutical empire. I owned 58%, and they had no idea I existed. I had reasons for secrecy. My first marriage ended the moment my ex-wife discovered my real wealth. She loved James the regular guy. She divorced James the billionaire after hiring 3 forensic accountants. So with Elena, I made a decision. I'd be James Mitchell, financial consultant. Drive my old Volvo. Live modestly. Wait to see if someone could love me for who I was, not what I had. The first dinner at the Hartwick estate should have been my warning. Richard Hartwick, 68, silver-haired, ran a $30 billion company. His wife Margaret watched everything with eyes that missed nothing. "So, James," Richard said, cutting into venison. "Elena tells us you're in finance. Financial consulting. Independent. Smaller client base." He nodded like you'd nod at a child explaining why they want to be an astronaut. "And how's that working out?" "I make a comfortable living." "Comfortable," Margaret echoed. "How wonderful, dear. It's so important to be content with what you have." Elena squeezed my hand under the table. Support? Or apology? We married small, a boutique hotel in Niagara. Her parents paid, which grated on me. Richard toasted about how love mattered more than money. I saw relatives exchange knowing glances. First year was good. We bought a renovated Victorian in Leslieville. Nice but not extravagant. Exactly what a financial consultant and gallery manager could afford. I paid cash, but made it look like a mortgage. Elena seemed happy. Morning coffee on the deck. Conversations about her gallery clients. I told curated stories about my work, leaving out the billions, focusing on human elements. Around year 3, things shifted. Elena mentioned her friend's husband-making partner. Her college roommate's husband starting a tech company. How nice a cottage up north would be. "We could get one," I said. "Affordable places around Muskoka." Affordable. That word, loaded with implications. By year 5, it was less subtle. "Rebecca and Martin are going to the Maldives. My colleague's new Mercedes is impressive." Her father asked with increasing skepticism how the consulting business was going. I waited for her to notice I never worried about money. That I could afford whatever she wanted. I just chose not to. That a simple financial consultant didn't pay cash for houses or have detailed knowledge of pharmaceutical industry trends. She never did. Or chose not to dig. Year 6, Richard had a minor heart attack. Elena spent more time with her parents, came home quieter. "Daddy's thinking about retiring," she said. "He says the company will probably be sold after he's gone." I could have told her I'd never allow that. That as majority shareholder, I'd spent years protecting Hartwick Industries from hostile takeovers. But I said nothing. Last month, at an art fundraiser, Elena's friend Natasha approached. "James, Colin was just saying we should have dinner. Have you been to his new place?" "Not yet." She glanced at my 12-year-old suit, then at Elena with pity. "Well, it's pricey, but Colin can get you a discount." Elena smiled tightly. "That's kind." Later, in the car. "I'm tired, James." "Long day." "No, just tired. 2 weeks ago, I came home early." Elena was on the phone with her mother, speaking low. She hung up quickly. Her laptop showed a Yorkville penthouse listing, $3.2 million. Far beyond what she thought we could afford. Which brought me to tonight. The family-only dinner. I pulled into the circular driveway. My Volvo looked comical between the Mercedes and Range Rover. Margaret greeted us, elegant in cream silk. Elena, darling. James. A smile that didn't reach her eyes. Richard stood by a mahogany desk, pouring scotch from crystal. We settled into leather chairs worth 5 figures each. James, he finally said, I want to talk man to man. You've been married 8 years. In that time, I've watched Elena compromise everything she was raised to expect. She loves her work. She does it because she has to, Margaret interrupted. Because you can't support her properly. Elena stared at her lap. James, I'm sure you're doing your best. Richard's tone was almost gentle. But my daughter married someone who can't provide the life she deserves. He slid a leather portfolio across the desk. I'm offering you $5 million. No fault divorce. Clean break. You sign, you walk away financially secure. Elena rebuilds her life. We all move forward with dignity. Silence. Just an antique clock ticking. I opened it. Divorce papers. A $5 million check. A non-disclosure agreement. $5 million, I said, running my finger along the edge. More than generous, Richard said. More than you'd make in 3 lifetimes. Daddy. Elena's voice was strained. It's for the best, sweetheart. Margaret sat beside her. Elena was crying silently. But she wasn't protesting. Not defending me. She was crying because she knew they were right. Because this was what she wanted too. 8 years. Waiting for her to love me enough to not care about money. Hoping authenticity would matter more than status. I closed the portfolio. That's generous, I said. But I'm not sure 5 million is the right number. Richard's eyebrows rose. If you're negotiating, I'm thinking you should call an emergency board meeting. Silence. I pulled out my phone. Hartwick Industries. Market cap, 31 billion. Shares outstanding, 740 million. Yes, Richard said slowly. Your family controls 38%. Remember the anonymous shareholder you've been trying to identify for 6 years? The one who keeps blocking hostile takeovers. Margaret's face went pale. The one who owns 58%. 430 million shares. Understanding dawned on Richard's face like sunrise over a lake. That's me, I said. James Mitchell, your son-in-law. The financial consultant who can't provide for your daughter. Elena's head snapped up. What? At current value, my stake is worth about $18 billion. I set my phone next to the $5 million check. The contrast was absurd. That's impossible, Richard said, but his voice had lost certainty. Call Stephen Cho, your CFO. Ask about North Star Holdings. Ask who's been protecting your company from 3 hostile takeovers. Ask who ensured you had capital for gene therapy when banks pulled credit lines. Richard's hand shook as he reached for his phone. You're lying, Margaret whispered. I've never lied. I just never volunteered information no one asked for. Elena stared like I was a stranger. You've been rich this whole time? Yes. Rich enough to. Her voice broke. You let me think. I wanted to know if you loved me. If someone could care about James Mitchell the person, not the billionaire. You lied to me. I wore old clothes and drove an old car. Choices, not lies. You never asked if I had more money. You just assumed I didn't and decided that was a problem. Richard's call was brief. I watched his face cycle through disbelief, shock, horror. When he hung up, he looked diminished. Stephen confirmed it. Why? Margaret demanded. Why hide this? Because I wanted one thing in my life not about money. One relationship built on something real. I wanted someone to love me for who I am. That's manipulation, Elena said. Is it? I never stopped you from pursuing dreams. Never denied you anything you actually asked for. I just waited to see if you'd choose me over the lifestyle you were raised in. I stood, straightening my old jacket. For 8 years, I watched you become progressively disappointed. Not because I was unkind or unfaithful. Because my bank account didn't satisfy your parents' expectations. I turned to Richard. I've instructed my lawyers to transfer my shares. Over 12 months, I'll divest completely. You'll maintain family control. I've spent 6 years protecting this company because I respect what you built. But I won't be insulted anymore. I looked at Elena one last time. She was crying, different tears now. Confused. Lost. The divorce papers are fine. Keep the house. Keep everything. I don't need it. But I won't accept $5 million. We both know that's insulting. I walked toward the door, then paused. For what it's worth, I did love you. Enough to want to be simple and uncomplicated for you. Enough to hope that would be enough. I looked back. I'm sorry it wasn't. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in comments. Would you have revealed the truth sooner or waited like James? Share with someone who needs to remember money isn't everything, but honesty is. And subscribe for more revenge stories. Thanks for listening. Remember, sometimes the people who look down on you have no idea how high you really are.